Hi, welcome back to Taji's World of Books, and welcome to another book series recommendation video. Hey you guys, so today I am going to be reviewing Pepper Winters, and this is Monsters in the Dark. I absolutely love this series. This is amazing. So there are there are 4 books in the series, 3 main books and 2 like bonus epilogues, if you will. So let's talk about this. So there are a lot of trigger warnings if you guys don't know about this series. This series has been around for a very, very long time. And you know, I've had this on my TBR for a while, and I'm not sure why I delayed in reading it. I think maybe because only the first 2 books are on Audible original, so on audiobook, and the other 2 you have to get the Kindle edition and have Alexa read it to you, which I did, which is a totally great experience. It's totally fine. So I'm glad that I actually did read this. So this is dark romance. It's a Captor Captive. It's about trafficking. So Captor Captive is very different. I feel like when somebody sort of like takes you against your will and like you develop a relationship with them, whereas like the trafficking sort of subgenre or trope or what have you is really, really tough, right? Because traffickers often are really evil, terrible, mistreating, like doing a lot of really hard stuff to read on page. And this series is no different. So there is a lot of trigger warnings, and this is dark, dark, twisted romance. So that's not your jam. Like, don't go into these for faint of heart. But if you do like dark romance and you can withstand some of the on-page stuff that you see, which we'll talk about in a little bit, then I absolutely think that you should do this, because Tess and Q, I absolutely love this story so, so much. It is like a 5 out of 5 star. It's amazing. It's really, really good. So let me tell you about the first book. The first book is Tears of Tess. And this really takes place when Tess is from Australia, and she goes with her boyfriend Brax on a vacation. He whisks her away, and he whisks her away to Mexico. Tess is basically an only child. Her brother is 20 years older than her, and she was really a surprise baby for her parents. Her parents were like, you get the suspicion that they were like 50 or something when they had her, and they didn't really want her, and so they never took care of her. She just lived a very lonely and isolated life. And so Brax, her boyfriend, is very loving and kind and sweet, and he really takes care of her, but he is vanilla of vanilla of vanilla. He's so cinnamon roll sweet that he doesn't even have like a hard body in him. Like, when you want to talk about like protect me, this dude is not going to protect you, but he's going to be there, and he's going to be like, he's going to care for you, and he's good and all that in everything, but Tess just wants more. And so Tess tries to, like, because she has this fantasy of like being dominated and being owned and being spanked, and she wants to toy around with like the little darker side of intimacy and sexuality. And she tries to introduce this to Brax when they're in Mexico as a surprise, and he's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what do you do? Like, you could just see, like, he's like, I got nothing for you. Like, this is not normal. This is not okay. Like, we're not doing this. So it doesn't happen. So fast forward, they're on excursions in Mexico, and Tess has this sixth sense that something is not right, and she has learned to really try. She ignores her sixth sense, but as the books go, you start to, when Tess has a sixth sense that something's up, you need to listen to what Tess is saying, because something's up and something's going to go down, and it does, and they kidnap her. And this kidnapping is, and on paper, the things that are happening is, she was kidnapped, drugged, and stolen. And when she's taken into custody with these kidnappers, it's horrible. There's no easy way to say that this is dark and twisted. And, you know, can Brax find her? Does he discover where she is and what happens? And then are these kidnappers keeping her, or are they gonna sell her? And so ultimately, you know, Tess gets sold by these kidnappers to someone else. And that's where this book goes. And like I said, it is a page turner. You don't want to put it down. You're sucked into the storyline. You're fascinated. You're intrigued. You're also horrified at the conditions and the things that Tess experiences. And like I said, there's a difference between telling me that this went down and like letting me see it in a page or two versus like seeing it on page play out and seeing the terror and the fear and living it and experiencing, not only with Tess, but with the other girls that are held captive that are there as well, and not knowing what's going to happen to you. And it's clear that Pepper Winters has done some research on this subject, because many of the things that she talks about in here are, you know, are very consistent with what happens in the CSEC population. So CSEC stands for commercially sexually exploited children, or commercially sexually exploited youth. And so what happens when they are kidnapped, they are branded with a barcode, and often a tracker is put into them, because these girls are seen as commodity. And so they want to be able to keep up with their commodity so that they can be sold multiple times. And that's exactly what happens in here. So this is really the dark underbelly of society. But this is an amazing book nonetheless. So that's where Tears of Tess goes. Quintessentially Q is, again, another 5-star, and this is what happens with Tess when she's sold to her new master, Q, and what happens between them and how things go down. And it is, you know, it says Tess is Q's completely and Q is Tess's irrevocably. So this is heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, because you get to see the POV from both Tess as well as Q, or Quincy. You see what's happening, what he's going through, you see what she's going through, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is how, like, is this Stockholm syndrome? Like, what's happening? How does this all work itself out? Can it work itself out? You know, can they make it, you know, can they make it? Tess is continually trying to escape. Is she gonna escape? Does she make it back to Brax? What does that mean for her and Q? Is there potential for a relationship after he's bought her from slavery and bought her to be a pet and a plaything? And it is spicy and steamy and sexy and BDSM and pain and blood play and, you know, breath play, and all of that is in here in spades, and it is just over the top. It is so good. I can't even tell you how good it is. So that's Quintessentially Q. That's the last of the books that are on Audible Original. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Tears of Tess, there is a bonus epilogue that is on Kindle. You can't get the actual book, but it's on Kindle, and it tells, it's the POV of Tess after this story. So go ahead and check it out, and you check on the Goodreads. The way that Goodreads has it listed, you should read it in that order, because Pepper Winters actually wrote it after she completed this series, so it looks like it goes after, but it doesn't. It literally is a bonus epilogue after the events that happen in this book, so read it after this. Okay, so then the next book in the series, and this is a chunker, okay? This is a chunker, and this is Twisted Together. And Twisted Together is like, whoo, there is so much that goes down in this, so much that goes down in here. In terms of, and I don't want to give spoilers, but it's like, you know, battling through hell, fighting with other traffickers, second kidnapping, Q's in danger. There is just, this delivers action-packed suspense, passion, you know, misunderstandings, death, you know, killing, murder. Like, it just packs everything in this one book. It is so good. And you see that everything is really solidified and really comes together between Tess and Q in this book to like the next level, and the things that Q does, and who changes who, and who is whose master, and what does that look like, and how do they play out that pain dynamic, and all of the things. It is so good. You will fall in love with Tess and Q in so many ways, and you just want everything to be perfect. And can it be perfect? And what is that going to look like? And it's really good. And then the final book in the series is Je suis à toi. and this is I am yours, right? And this is their thing. This is what they say to one another. And this is like, you know, how do we get through our last hurdle? And like, now that we know that we are together and I am yours, and like, what does that mean? And how do we take things to the next level? And this has some surprising twists and turns. I love, like when you're reading this, you kind of are like, you're seeing there's some friction and some stuff going on between Tess and Q, and you don't really understand it. And once it's revealed, you're like, what? Like, I wasn't expecting that, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's another 5 out of 5 star, and it is just, at the end, you just want more Tess and Q. You absolutely want more. Pepper Winters, I have to say, when I say she is the queen of dark romance, if you go on her website, she gives you the breakdown of the darkness meter, and so she gave this a 6 to 8 out of 10. I would say on the darkness meter, this is probably about a 7 in terms of trigger warnings and all of the things that happen in this book and the things that you read on page and the torture that you see that goes down. It is intense, and it's not for the faint of heart. And if you have any trigger warnings, please check it out. But if you like dark romance at all, you will not be disappointed. You will fall in love with these characters, and you're just going to want more and more. And so I'm going to be doing more of Pepper Winters. Right now I'm reading her Indebted series, and so that will be the next video that I upload when I get back. So you guys know I'm going on vacation, so I'm going to see you in a couple weeks when I come back, and hopefully I will be able to give you updates on what I read. I have a very ambitious reading sort of journey that I plan to take while I'm on vacation, and we'll see if I actually do it. I think maybe I might be just enjoying the beach and like swimming and doing that kind of stuff, but I might try to read too at night and in the morning, and so we'll see. I don't know. We know as much as I read, I can't really step away all that much from reading. I don't really want to do that, but we'll see what life does. But so hopefully the next video I will do is finishing up the Indebted series, and I gotta tell you, I'm loving it. Like, it's taking it. I thought that Q, and I thought this was some drama. She's just ooh, Pepper girl, she's just taking it. All right, you guys, so that's all that I have. It's a fairly short video, but I wanted to make sure that I got these books to you, and I hope if you have not read Monsters in the Dark series, please read it. You will not be disappointed. You'll be very happy, and you will fall in love with these characters in the same way that I did and want more from Pepper. But that's all that I have for today. So if you like what you have seen, please like and subscribe. Please click the notification bell so that you can find out when I upload new videos. And you know that I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so I look forward to seeing you in my next video.